From the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center, there's an excessive heat warning in effect through Thursday. Tonight, partly cloudy with a slight chance of a thunderstorm, low 86. Tomorrow, hot, 110 for a high. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, 85. Back up to 110 on Thursday. I'm Tim Livingston from the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center.
Currently, in downtown Phoenix, it's 104 degrees.
Next news in 30 minutes or when it breaks. Here on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
The Del Walmsley Show, weekdays at 2 p.m.
Why do I bother? Because what I want you to understand is you can do something about your situation, where you are, what you can do, how you can isolate and insulate yourself from all of this political and financial garbage that goes on out there.
The Del Walmsley Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Everything you need to know about finance and real estate. For more information, mypassiveincomesystem.com. mypassiveincomesystem.com.
To me, Trump is like our first citizen president. He talks like Jimmy down the street.
This is the Joe Walsh Show. Joe Walsh, nights at 7 p.m. Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
Attention to detail. Mobile Hand Car Wash will wash and dry your vehicle 100% by hand and perform a 10-point final inspection from vacuuming to a spot-free finish. Attention to detail. Mobile Car Wash comes to your home or office and offer a multiple car discount. Full detailing services available. For more info or to make an appointment, call 602-725-6895. That's 602-725-6895.
Car Wash, yeah. The Laura Ingraham Show, weekdays at 6 a.m. Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX. Log on and listen live. 1100KFNX.com. KFNX.com.
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
Welcome to the Reality Check. I'm Ben Shennerman here with you every Tuesday at 9 p.m. on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX. We want to start out the show today by sending, our positive thoughts to everybody in Texas and around the surrounding areas who are dealing with Hurricane Harvey. Thanks to all the heroes that have helped them out, which not only includes donating money and time and resources, whether it's a boat, whether it's a hand. We just especially, the people that are suffering, we want to know that, we want them to know our hearts are with them. There's not much on this end we can do besides offer support and help. But if you think that the Dems are going to let this crisis go to waste, you're wrong. Remember, their buddy Rahm Emanuel says, never let a crisis go to waste. The other big thing that happened in the past week, obviously, was the fight last Saturday. The Go to Boxing, who took 10 rounds to knock out a boxer making his pro debut, who some would say had lost 2 of his last 3 MMA fights. Nothing that impressive. But if you don't believe me, maybe.
No, I mean, we just, the Bears are what we thought they were. They're what we thought they were. We played them in preseason. Who the hell takes a third game in the preseason like it's bull? We played them in the third game. Everybody played 3 quarters. The Bears are who we thought they were. That's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
It's a fight set up so he could win his 50th. Mayweather winning his 50th. That's what it was. It was a fight set up so he could win his 50th. Was I supposed to get excited? Not only about that, but about a dude who's beat multiple women. It was so strange seeing afterwards women screaming in the street, greatest ever, greatest ever. Do they know this guy's history, or did they just choose to ignore? I guess sometimes people ignore for people they like. A caricature is a picture, a description, or an imitation of a person or thing. in which certain striking characteristics are exaggerated in order to create a comic or grotesque effect, almost like a cartoon. A caricature is also to make or to give comical or grotesque exaggeration representation of someone or something. In almost every way, in every situation these days, that's the media, giving you an exaggerated representation of what's going on. You have Russia, right? 10 months and nothing. They have so much that they're looking into Manafort's bank records from 10 years ago. That would be pennies. You know they'd be on it if they had something. Attacking Donald Trump on the KKK. He clearly said the KKK criminals would fully be charged. Yet not a word of the hundreds of media members who knowingly shared a meal or time with their buddy Robert KKK Byrd. The outrage over statues that each of these politicians drove by for many years, and they didn't care to stop or condemn them then. Some of them even helped fund the statues, and others, like as Nancy Pelosi, is she going to attack her own dad, who actually dedicated a statue of Robert E. Lee? Has the media called Al Gore and asked him to condemn his father voting against civil rights for blacks? Did they ask Mr. Gore why his dad lied about giving rights to blacks? Has the media asked the unemployed Colin Kaepernick why he walked away from a 6-year, $124 million contract to now claim he's unemployed? He's the one who walked away. Did the media ask why there's a black quarterback that doesn't have a job, who is the youngest player in NFL history to achieve a perfect passer rating, a former Pro Bowler, a black quarterback that doesn't have a job? Why are they not talking about him? RG3, Robert Griffin III? Right? I think the rumor has it that Robert Griffin III loves America. Kaepernick hates America. He was kept down with the $124 million contract. That's why he got out. Trump does a pardon and it makes him a racist. He pardons a man, whether you like him or not. Part of his family's Mexican. He worked in Mexico. He did many nice things for Mexico. Obama pardoned lots of people. If you want to compare a few, there's Nasro Afhahi, who was indicted in 2015 for allegedly facilitating the illegal export of high-tech microelectronics, uninterruptible power supplies, and other commodities to Iran in violation of the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. Tura Faridi, who was also indicted in 2015 for allegedly facilitating the illegal export of high-tech microelectronics, uninterruptible power supplies, and other commodities to Iran. Same violation as the first guy. Obama also pardoned Ronald Eugene Greenwood, and this one is a classic. Ronald, you see, was a polluter. He dumped slaughterhouse waste into a river, and he was convicted of violating the Clean Water Act. He was sentenced in 1996 to 3 years probation, 6 months home confinement, 100 hours of community service, $5,000 in restitution, and $1,000 fine. And Mr. Barack Obama, the clean air, clean water guy, pardoned this guy. Trump supporters are not caricatures like the media depicts. The media is telling you who they are by accusing what they fear the most. Caricatures of the news. That's what the media is. The pardon of Sheriff Joe. You know, I'm not a huge Sheriff Joe fan. He did a lot of good things, and he kind of was on TV a lot, and that stuff kind of got to his head. I didn't need that stuff, so I'm not a huge fan of his. But, I mean, Trump didn't need to pardon him. It was a mistake. He wasn't... Sheriff Joe didn't even have a sentence yet. Let him get a sentencing. He wouldn't have got jail. The guy's done so much. He had a stellar career. Like I said, there were things I didn't like. But as far as, you know, doing things for the government, following the law, he did a great job in that. Whether you like the way he followed the law or not, it's really inconsequential. He wouldn't have got jail time. And for Donald Trump to waste a pardon on it, it was silly. Let it play out in the courts, see if he would have got jail time. If he did, then if you wanted to pardon him, I would see that case. But now it's just a waste of time. It gives people something to talk about. You know, Sheriff Joe, he just didn't need a pardon. I think we could have waited another time. Antifa, the non-violent group, they say. How much violence have they started recently? Remember when Steve Scalise got shot on the softball field? Their statement on their page said, Steve Scalise and other fascist Republicans, and then you see them marching, and they held up a picture, and it said, the only good fascist is the dead one. They're kind of like the Occupy Wall Street. Remember Occupy Wall Street? Trash everywhere, raping people in their group and telling them to be quiet about it because they didn't want people to know how violent they were, breaking stuff, attacking banks, attacking ATM machines, silly stuff, but violence and destruction of property. Just like Black Lives Matters, it was the violence and the destruction of property. It's a sad day and age that people say they're not violent. They're coming to peacefully protest with bags of pee, bags of feces, gas masks, chemicals, things to throw at police, shields, boards that have nails in them. That's the sign of peacefulness? I think not. I think Donald Trump should step up and declare them a terrorist group across America. And anytime they want to wear these masks, which is they're just hiding because it's hard to identify people in masks, they should immediately be taken down by the police, arrested. I mean, that's it. They're just a violent group, nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. And it's just going to get worse. I mean, you saw the way it was in Phoenix. They attacked police, and now we have to waste our money doing an investigation when they threw stuff at police. You know, they came there to fight, and they got the fight, and they lost. As you've seen, the poster child for the Antifa movement last Tuesday was somebody who got bagged in the bag, if you know what I mean. And that was the highlight of the night for them. But what else can I say about them, except for their violence, and they need to be stopped. You're listening to The Reality Check with Ben Shanneman. And next segment, when we come back, we'll talk about some local news. You're listening on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
The most dangerous day for a baby is the first day of life. Babies born in poverty zones are dying from infections, pneumonia, malnutrition, but they don't have to die. For nearly 60 years, Project Hope has been working around the world, training local healthcare workers, delivering medicines and medical supplies, giving newborns the healthy start they need to survive and thrive. Make sure her first day of life is not her last. To volunteer or learn more about Project Hope, visit projecthope.org.
There are lots of good reasons to take a good quality multivitamin. Even the best eating plans can fall short of meeting all of the necessary nutrients you need each day. Emerald Laboratories offers different multivitamin formulas with specialty men's, women's, and prenatal formulas to meet individual needs. Each formula contains coenzyme activated forms of B2, B6, and folic acid, Albion Minerals, the gold standard in mineral chelates, vitamin K as MK7, and full spectrum mixed tocopherols, tocotrienols, and carotenoids. Folic acid is one of the standout nutrients in these formulas. 46% of the U.S. population does not process folic acid properly, putting them at greater risk for premature heart attack and stroke, depression, and even schizophrenia. Taking a once daily multivitamin is an easy way to fill in small nutritional gaps. Learn more about Emerald Laboratories' science-based multivitamin formulas by going to ultralaboratories.com. That's ultralaboratories.com.
Stay up late. Alex Jones, After Dark. Nights, 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. On Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX. The home of the Alex Jones Show.
Hi, Rick and Dave here.
The Elton Brothers on KFNX.
Have you ever pulled in front of a listing, can't get a hold of anyone, and just wanted more info and photos?
That's so annoying.
Well, we have an app for you.
Simply text Elton to 32323.
It's completely free and downloads right to your mobile device.
So any real estate sign across the valley.
Text Elton to 32323 and get all the MLS info right to your phone.
Immediately.
The Elton Brothers, putting real estate in the palm of your hand.
Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m., 1100 KFNX.
Matchmaker Communications 101 presents The Young Reporters. When you're on The Young Reporters, be prepared to talk about things you never expected. Amazing young reporters with amazing guests. So join us in the classroom every Saturday, 6 a.m.
It's summertime in Arizona, and the heat is on at Camelback Toyota. This is Shoeshine Mike. Come on down and see our new cars, used cars, new 2017 Toyota Camrys, new 2017 Toyota Corollas, 2017 RAV4s, Tacoma trucks, Highlanders, SUVs. We got them all. And our top-of-line service department has a quick repair shop for minor mishaps. Our goal is to be our customers' champion. Stop by soon and let us exceed your expectations. Camelback Toyota. Listen to the Shoeshine Mike Radio Hour every Friday at 11 a.m. here on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to outer space. Please stand by.
Welcome back to the Reality Check. I'm Ben Shennerman here with you every Tuesday at 9 p.m. on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX. If you missed our first segment, you missed us talking about the caricatures of the news, sounding off on the media, as usual, and Antifa, the violence within. Now we want to go a little bit local. Let me introduce you to the esteemed reporter who will be winning every award. His name is Brian West. We showed up to a monument, originally doing a story about the controversy, and taking these down. We happened to see it happen all across the nation, West reported. And this is what we found. We found that this monument had been vandalized. Actually, when we showed up, there was a man on a bicycle who just took off from the scene. And that's why we were talking to the police just a couple of minutes ago. Now, Brian West, you see, local reporter, happened to be doing a story on the monuments, and whoa, what a lucky day it was for him that somebody had vandalized the monument. It was an Arizona Confederacy monument for the troops that were Confederates. And he just happened to show up there, and some guy was taking off on a bike who had vandalized it, and he called the police. What a good guy Mr. Brian West is. Unfortunately, with a lot of Freedom of Information Acts, there's video in the park, and Mr. Brian West probably didn't realize that. And what you see, if you watch the video, is you see a gentleman, I use that loosely. He's on a bike, and he's tooling around somewhere around a little bit after 4 a.m., tooling around on his bike like normal people do right by monuments. He's not doing anything. And then all of a sudden, a news truck shows up and is behind the monument, shining its lights towards the monument. And then this great gentleman on the bike, loosely as I use that term, comes up, walks right in front of the truck, right through the headlights, actually dropped his bike on the ground by accident, and then he starts spray painting a cross on the monument and just spray painting it white. Total time about 4.5 minutes. He's spray painting this. And what do you know? He picks up his bike. No hurry, no rush, no worry. And he goes, and you can kind of see he walked in front of this van again, the news van. And what a coinkydink that Brian West of the guys didn't see him. If they think we're buying any of this, they're sadly mistaken. We might have been born, but it wasn't yesterday. All they're trying to do is cover it up now at the news. He had some posts Mr. Brian West deleted. One of the people at the station denied the news crew coordinated in any way with the suspect or interacted with him. Our folks didn't know what he was doing there. So they just were supposedly working in the back of the van and didn't see the guy. Now, Maybe you buy that if you didn't see all the video, but it's not the case because look at the video. Here's somebody who's on a bike at like 4 a.m, going to vandalize a statue. And he's just going to happen to wait till a van, even if he didn't know what the van was, puts its headlights on the monument. Like, now it seems like a good, hey, there's somebody here. I didn't want to do it without anybody here. There wouldn't be enough excitement. Oh, wait till people get here. Sorry, but spokesperson for the DPS said that the case is open and an active investigation, and the agency is not ready to make a statement on it. Hopefully, Mr. Brian West will get to find himself behind bars, and whoever did this as well with him. So we have good old MTV the other night. Award show. Awards for what? Station that plays the least music videos? Yes, MTV wins. The Mass Troubled Vermin, that's MTV. So we had good old Katy Perry, a real American. Yeah, right. Now she cares all of a sudden about the popular vote. You know, if Katy Perry cared about the popular vote, maybe she'd be for, at least for us having Mexican voter rights, right? Because in Mexico, they require an ID to vote. So can we at least have the Mexican voter rights, Katie? If you really care about the popular vote, let's have some standards in our elections. ID for everybody. You know, Mexico had a larger impact in our election than Russia had, but nobody seems to care, right? Yeah, all we hear about is Russia. Thanks, Katy Perry. You're worthless again. Playing in the background, that same MTV Lack of Awards show they had an F Donald Trump song. Yep, but they're preaching no hate. We don't hate, but we're playing an F Donald Trump song. Yeah, you don't hate. MTV is responsible for lower IQs everywhere. You know, when they started, there was decent videos and funny shows like Remote Control, if you guys remember that game show. Really good game show. It's funny. Dropping Twinkies out. You know me, I love Twinkies and junk food. And then we had the fake world, the real world, whatever they called that, where you had lazy bums who got paid. They got paid to complain how unfair their life was. And all they did was whine and bitch, and they were lazy. That's the real world? Ironically not. Now, you've also seen recently in the news, or really on some of these award shows, them slipping in those little yellow stars, the Stars of David. Very disappointing, as a lot of you who know your history know, and I know my audience is well educated. Those were put on people to mark who they were so they can be properly identified and easily killed in concentration camps. And besides that showing up on shows, you have all these clothing companies now. Like, I read this article that said, nothing evolves love and peace like a rainbow-colored swastika. At least that's what one T-shirt vendor thought. They want to reclaim the Nazi symbol by marking it. They want to use it. They think it means goodwill. The swastika is 5,000 years old. It's a symbol of peace. It's a symbol of love. It's a symbol of life. Really? To who? And they're talking about the KKK on one hand, and now they have this, everybody's trying to bring the swastika back. Clothing companies. You see it constantly. You've seen a lot of clothing companies put up something, and then they'll take it down. Major clothing companies, too, have done it. It's just disgusting. It should be condemned at all times. You see, now all of a sudden, with the yellow stars, you see they want to be friends of the Jews. Hollywood coming out and like they're supporting the Jews. We're in support against the Jews. We're in support with the Jews against the Nazis. Yet they're the same people that constantly refuse letting Israel defend itself. They constantly said Israel was junk for defending itself. Israel, how dare Israel do this? How dare Israel do that? And now all of a sudden they want to use the Nazi angle and say, oh, we love the Jews. We love the Jews. We love them. They condemned Israel at every chance they get, and now it suits them to their fancy, and now all of a sudden they like Israel. They're friends of Israel. How nice. Thanks. We don't need friends like that. So, obviously, we can't let a show ever go, and so far it's half a show, but without New York. Good old Governor Cuomo and Mayor Bill de Blasio, I need you to stand up, and I need you to rename the New York sports teams immediately, because they are very offensive every night, and I'm suffering emotional trauma from the New York abuse. And no, I'm not talking about the New York Knicks, because I'm a New York Knicks fan. They are abusive. But I am talking about the New York Knicks name. That's short for Knickerbocker or Dutch settlers, and they stole the land from the natives. Brooklyn Nets, everybody knows nets kill millions of innocent wildlife and fish every year. That name must be changed. It's offensive. The New York Giants, they glorify tall people, and that's a microaggression to little people. The New York Jets, Germans use the jets. They use rockets and planes in World War II. Got to get rid of that name. New York Rangers, a painful reminder of all of the evil Rangers that roam the West. There were Confederate Ranger units, too. Yankees, another word, with the origins of a colonial era where we all know that it was only evil European colonists stealing land from natives. The Mets, they're okay, but their mascot's got to go. It's a white baseball with white gloves. Very racist. You're tuned into the Reality Check with your host, Ben Shannerman, here with you every Tuesday at 9 p.m. You're listening to Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX. We will return for another powerful segment.
Where the truth lives. Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. Listen to Independent Talk 1100 KFNX streaming live at 1100KFNX.com.
A curfew has been ordered for the city of Houston to curtail looting and theft in the aftermath of Harvey. Police Chief Art Acevedo.
We have had instances of looting to small scales. We've had armed robbers that were going around yesterday, robbing our community, victimizing them again. Harvey wasn't enough. And these lowlives are doing this to their community.
Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner says the curfew will be in effect from midnight to 5 a.m. Central Time until further notice. Meanwhile, forecasters say Harvey is preparing to make another landfall before leaving Texas behind. Correspondent Drew Griffin is in Beaumont, Texas.
This is where what is Harvey right now is expected to come barreling through with more and more rain, 10 to 15 inches possibly just overnight, according to the emergency management officials.
Ahead of Wednesday's opening bell on Wall Street right now, Dow futures up 15, Nasdaq's up 6. I'm Elliot Francis.
From the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center, there's an excessive heat warning in effect through Thursday. Tonight, partly cloudy with a slight chance of a thunderstorm, low 86. Tomorrow, hot, 110 for a high. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, 85. Back up to 110 on Thursday. I'm Tim Livingston from the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center.
Currently, in downtown Phoenix, it's 104 degrees.
Next news in 30 minutes or when it breaks. Here on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
Would you like to expand your business? I'm Francis Battaglia, president of Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. KFNX is one of the most cost-effective and powerful ways to get your message out, reach potential customers, and grow your business. Advertise for only $10 per 30-second spot on top shows like Laura Ingraham and Michael Savage. Call me at 602-277-1100 extension 1463. 602-277-1100 extension 1463.
You wouldn't dive into a pool without knowing how deep it is. So why would you dig without knowing what's below? Call 811 or click Arizona811.com first. It's free, easy, and it's the law. Sponsored by Arizona 811 in partnership with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD, host of Healthline. Tune in to get your questions answered.
Thank you, Dr. Marshall. Promote exquisite immune and cardiovascular support with Quantum Nutrition Lab's Quantum Garlic Complex, featuring bear garlic and allicin. Buy 2 bottles and get the third one free. Call 800-370-3447 or visit online at qnlabs.com.
The Real Estate Hour with Mike Boyajian.
Spanning the Valley of the Sun to bring you the constant variety of real estate services since 1983. Listen Sundays, 11 a.m. to noon, right here on Independent Talk, KFNX, 1100 a.m. Call or text 480-560-7653 or email the show at westusa.com. Your real estate professional since 1983. When experience matters, call 480-560-SOLD.
Shoeshine Mike recommends Camelback Toyota's beautiful sale for Labor Day. This Labor Day weekend up until the 5th, 2017 Toyota Tacoma TRD pickups, 1.9% financing for 60 months, a rugged off-road capability, an attractive interior that is filled with easily understood controls. Top-level V6 engine can be paired with 6-speed manual transmission. All of that, 1.9% financing on a 2017 Toyota Tacoma TRD pickup. Camelback Toyota in the heart of the Camelback corridor at 16th Street in Camelback. Customer satisfaction is number one.
What causes the most stress at work? The sound of phones ringing, office equipment beeping, or your coworkers chatting? I'll tell you what a new Cornell University study discovered, so you'll know what to tune out. Join me, John Tesh, Saturday nights at 10 on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX.
You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to outer space. Please stand by.
Welcome back to the Reality Check. Ben Shannerman here with you every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX. If you just joined us, you're tardy. You just missed us talking about the false Hollywood support for the Jews, how all of a sudden they like Jews because they want to put it with the KKK, yet they didn't care before. Everybody who supported Israel or Jews was trashed before. Now all of a sudden we're heroes. De Blasio, we talked about how he must rename all the New York sports teams. They're offensive, or their mascot's offensive. Everything's offensive. Let's just rename everything. We snuck in Facebook Live on you guys tonight. I want to thank everybody who's watching in on that. So, this weekend, going to California. So if I don't come back for next week's show, you'll know they got me. California is a little crazy. I remember one time I went to San Francisco and there were nude bikers in the middle of the day biking down the street. And somehow that was supposed to save money on gas, the fact that they were nude. I don't know. I'm confused. It's just, it's California. A few years ago when we were in California, we got stuck in poo and it stunk. We were actually was it Disneyland or Disney World? I don't even know which one it is, but we were in the ride, the Winnie the Pooh ride, and it actually broke. So we were stuck in poo. I know. Not a hilarious joke, but a joke indeed. So later, like I said, we're going to the beach this weekend, later on in the week. Look at me, enunciating greatly. And we will see the sea level rise, and that'll be called high tide. And later in the day, we'll see the ocean recede, and that'll be called low tide. None of it will be because global warming. But speaking about that lie, TV personality and climate activist Bill Nye filed a lawsuit claiming Walt Disney Company and subsidiaries improperly claimed more than $37 million in revenue generated by Bill Nye the Science Guy, a children's science show that aired on PBS from 1993 to 1998. According to the suit, Nye and his producers signed a distribution deal with Buena Vista Television, the Disney subsidiary, in 93, entitling the show's creators to 50% of net profits from the show. In 2008, Buena Vista issued Nye a check for $585,123 for his share of that year's profits. But within months, Buena Vista claimed it made an accounting error and demanded most of the payment be returned. In the course of the ensuing dispute, Nye's team discovered that Buena Vista had made a huge and suspicious expense deduction against the show's $26 million in gross revenues, vastly reducing profits owed to Nye. After 4 years of seeking clarification from Buena Vista, Nye hired outside auditors in 2013. Nye's suit claimed Buena Vista was uncooperative with the audit, but the auditors were still able to find a variety of unreported royalties and improper deductions. The suit also claimed that the sale of Science Guy's streaming rights to Netflix was improperly classified as a video device deal, which paid out to the show's creators at a much lower rate than other forms of revenue. The suit concludes that Nye is owed at least $9.35 million more than he'd been paid by Buena Vista, and that Disney and its subsidiaries received $28 million in ill-gotten profits through various accounting tricks. The suit seeks restitution for money owed to Nye, with the final amount to be proven in trial, in addition to punitive damages. Let me tell you about this lawsuit. Who cares? The point is, Bill Nye, the science lie, has infected more kids than Leo Fitzpatrick in the movie Kids, and he's a disgrace. A lie who tells you he's a scientist. He has a BS, and he is a BS, in mechanical engineering. Mr. I Come in Peace Dolph Lundgren is more qualified to be a scientist. Dolph has a degree in chemical engineering from the Royal Institute of Technology in the early 80s and a master's degree in chemical engineering from the University of Sydney in 1982. He also received a scholarship from MIT. I've never heard that dude claim he's a scientist, but nope, Bill Nye, he's a scientist. So Bill Nye, the science lie. Mr. Lie, science is based off trial, error, and evidence. Science is not based off an agenda. Run the other way when a scientist tells you that science is settled. If it was, then it wouldn't be open for debate. Lie tries to silence others because he has no facts. The lie who wants you to live on less is suing Mickey Mouse. That's pretty sad. But that's Bill Lie. He's a disgrace. See, London's always on edge, right? Because they let terrorists run rampant. And now they're evacuating London train stations over e-cigarettes. So lawmakers failed to seize on an alarming development in the Russia collusion story last week, one that should spark serious and immediate congressional inquiry. During a heated Fox Business interview, Maria Bartiromo, Hillary Clinton's former campaign manager in chief, John Podesta, made a series of misleading statements when questioned about his involvement in a company that received $35 million from the Russian government while Clinton served as Secretary of State. On January 18, 2011, a small green energy company named Jolie Unlimited announced Podesta's appointment to its board. Months later, Rosnano, a Kremlin-backed investment fund founded by Vladimir Putin, pumped $35 million into Jolie, serving alongside Podesta on Julie's board were senior Russian official Anatoly Chubas and oligarch Ruben von Derian, who had been appointed by Putin to Russian Economic Modernization Council. They asked Podesta why he failed to disclose his role in Julie as required by law when he entered the White House in January 2014 to serve as special counselor to President Barack Obama. Podesta said, "It's not true. I fully disclosed and was completely compliant." But according to his own financial disclosure form, Podesta only listed 2 of the 3 entities that made up Jolie Unlimited, failing to disclose his presence on the board of the Dutch-registered Jolie Global Foundation. When Podesta was pressed on the whereabouts of his 75,000 shares of Jolie stock, Podesta resorted to the Clinton-esque schematics. It didn't have any stock in any Russian company. Notice the little sly tongue there. Yet again, it's not that simple for him, because the WikiLeaks documents revealed that when he joined the Obama White House, Podesta transferred his Jolie shares to an LLC controlled by his adult child. He also resumed communicating with Jolie and Jolie's investors after leaving the White House and joining Clinton's campaign. In fact, he received an invoice from his lawyers in April 2015, a consent request for Dmitry Akhanov of Rusnano USA to join Julie's board. Nothing to see here, though. It's always the case with Podesta. What about Podesta's contention that Putin's investment fund represented a small investment? That's funny. It was 35 million of the 110 million of the company. It's okay. It's only Kremlin backed. Yeah, in short, Clinton's top campaign chief and senior counselor to Obama sat on the board alongside top Russian officials with money from Putin's Kremlin-backed investment fund. No one's looking at Podesta, though. Don't worry. Are the U.S. officials investigating this matter? I doubt it. As always, as you see, there's one side that gets away with stuff. Amazing, right? Notice this week it came out that the FBI didn't want to go deeper into Hillary Clinton's emails because they say there's a lack of public interest. A lack of public interest? No, I'm sorry. But anybody I know who knows justice and truth or respects either one, they think Hillary Clinton should be investigated. And I'm assuming all the people that think Trump should be impeached and investigated and his wife should be kicked out as a first lady because she changed her shoes on Air Force One. Those people, too, I'm sure have plenty of interest in the emails. So stop with the lies like James Comey did. And, well, this won't get convicted in a court of law, even though we have a crime here. Let the judges judge. You're listening to The Reality Check with your host, Ben Shannerman. We'll be back for one more powerful segment where we'll have a bunch of topics. You're listening to Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
Hey everyone, this is Ken Beckrick, owner of Online Trading Academy Phoenix. One of my students recently told me that Online Trading Academy is the best kept secret in the Valley. Well, let me tell you, if you're a business owner, the last thing you want is for your business to be a secret in the community it serves, even if it is the best one. So I'm offering a series of complimentary workshops to get the word out. The workshop will benefit beginners who want to generate monthly income trading the financial markets. Additionally, it'll benefit those who have no interest in trading but want to manage their long-term retirement accounts. And if you're an experienced trader who's struggling to generate consistent profits, this workshop's for you too. Admission is free for those who call 8448-INCOME right now. That's 844-846-2663. When you attend, you'll also receive 5 of our most popular home study courses absolutely free. Call 8448-INCOME now. Seating is limited. Call 844-846-2663 today.
Your nest egg, how big is it going to be? Will it be ready to use when the time comes? Wouldn't it be great if there was a way to put a guarantee on your nest egg when retirement enters the picture? At AZRC, we can help you do that. We're the experts at helping prepare your nest egg for guaranteed retirement plans, giving you peace of mind and financial independence. Our knowledge, combined with modern retirement design technology, makes it easier than ever to plan for a safe, secure retirement. See what Arizona Retirement Company can do for your nest egg today. Call 480-524-0508. We'll always audit your accounts for free to help keep you on track. And if you call right now, AZRC will take $200 off any MRD retirement or estate plan. Call AZRC now at 480-524-0508. That's 480-524-0508. AZRC. We do the math.
Hi everyone, Solar Sandy here, wanting to save you money off your APS bill before rates increase September 1st. I know I was saying an increase was coming July 1st. It was delayed due to the Corporation Commission not voting. So call today for your solar saving consultation before rates actually do go up, expected September 1st. No cost solar is the way to save on a bill that you're spending a lot of money on and significantly more once these rate increases go into effect. Call today for your solar saving consultation with no obligation, 623-850-8229.
Are you ready to follow your intuition? I mean, see the big picture of your life and avidly follow your dreams? Hi, I'm Wendy Falcon.
And I'm David March. If your answer is yes, you're going to love our show, Insight Out.
It's about using your intuition to guide your everyday life, getting all of your answers from within. Join me
and me right here Saturdays at 6 p.m.
WendyFalcon.com.
You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to outer space. Please stand by.
Welcome back to the Reality Check. Your host, Ben Shannerman, taking you through. If you missed the last segment, you missed our talk about Bill Nye the Science Lie. You missed our talk about the Russian connection. Of course, there are many people, not only John Podesta, but also, if you look into Joe Biden, there's some connections there with some overseas fraud contracts. But, you know, the public doesn't have much interest in that, right? Remember to tune in to us every Tuesday at 9 p.m. on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. Guess this segment we should tone it down a bit. We don't want to offend anybody. We'll go a little lighter. Amidst all the drama and kind of hardcore stories there were this week, obviously we always talk about the UFC. And no cards, obviously, this month. We got to wait till next month. But one story that I was reading that was really, unfortunately, out of a sad event, John Jones failing another drug test, was funny, was when the social media, when it came out, they went ballistic. And there was a guy who was actually named John Jones. And it was just amazing. I actually happened to see him tweet something, and I just clicked on it. And I was just reading, like, he was just reposting or retweeting stuff, I guess you could say, that people were sending him. And it was just so hilarious. So this guy's like a video game developer, writer, and he's just like a tech geek. And people were just tweeting him like, F you. And then they're like, wait a minute. After they found that it wasn't him, like, you should give up your name. And then they were calling him an embarrassment to MMA fighters around the world. And it was just funny, some of the things he'd say back to them, like, yeah, he is really an embarrassment. And these people would get confused. And he's like, I've never been sanctioned a fight or been a champ. It was just absolute funny. I probably wasted an hour of my life just reading all this, but it's just so funny. I mean, the dude's white, firstly. If you look at his Twitter picture, I don't know. Can you not figure it out? Especially people would go back and forth with this guy for like multiple tweets. It was amazing. I remember the first thing that I had read about, he was like, my phone is blowing up. I have to recharge it right now. And it's just amazing how funny these people are. One common phrase by libs we always hear is level the playing field. And when we talk about the USPS, the Postal Service, I don't hear any libs talking about leveling the playing field. When we send packages overseas, we pay minimum $12, $9 to Canada, $12 to other countries, $21 if it's over 8 ounces. A crazy price. And it wouldn't be so bad, but when people from China ship over here, they pay like $1 and change, $2. And so the playing field is not level. We are being punished because we're subsidizing their packages here. So how's that a level playing field? Where are the liberals on this? And I'll leave it at that. Maybe one day we'll have a more in-depth conversation on this. But for right now, we'll leave it at that. Because like I said, I wasn't going to be too serious on this one. Besides, when I'm not watching UFC, one of my favorite shows to watch, besides, of course, The Twilight Zone, is Bar Rescue. And people who know me know that I like numbers. I like business. I've been a manager almost my whole life. And one of the funniest episodes was the Pirates episode, where the owners of the bar actually lived in their parents' basement. And these people, obviously, like, what business do they have owning a bar, right? Sadly, that bar went out of business, and they're actually opening another bar. Crazy enough. But it was just funny watching their bar. Everything's filthy, a mess. Usually that's why you're calling. You need help. But then half the time when Taffer comes to give their help, these people just change it back. Like they did right away. They're in the middle of Chicago in a corporate place, and they're running a pirate bar that obviously nobody wants to go to. But yet they'll tell John Taffer how everybody wants to go there. Well, then why aren't you making money? Why are you living in your parents' basement? But it was just one of the funniest episodes because just the people there actually wanted to. Some guy actually cursed out John Taffer and left the show because all he wanted to do was act like a pirate and a grown adult. But that's not what I wanted to talk about on Bar Rescue. There's one episode that bugs me a lot. And I've seen it a few times, and it was the one on the Casual Tap. Here was one in the community of Chicago at Portage Park. It was the first time they actually took a bar that was closed and tried to reopen it. So it was owned by a local firefighter, and the Casual Tap's owner's name was Steve Magana. He was a full-time firefighter, and he'd been burning a candle at both ends, like they said. He ended up at a position where he was forced to step away to deal with family tragedy, and the family tragedy was his ex-wife had Huntington's disease, and it's a progressive brain disorder that causes uncontrollable movements, emotional problems, loss of thinking ability. It's a disease that actually has adult onset. In most cases, it's less likely to happen in the children. So it appears like in your 30s and 40s. And there's about a 50% chance that your child will inherit it. So that was one of the guy's biggest concerns, when he was talking about the disease on the show. So during that time when he found out his wife had it and he was just nervous about his daughter having it, he left the responsibility to the, daily bar operations up to his staff, resulting in no control, no order. As the stress and bills managed. This guy, when he would come in, which wouldn't be that frequent, was overbearing, micromanaging everybody, difficult to work for. Obviously work goes down, the customers notice it, the customers drop off. So he had $700,000 that he accumulated in debt, and he was losing $4,000 a month. So he found himself torn between his bar and his family. Obviously his family needs him the most, and he was desperate to find a way to find a competent manager, and he couldn't, so he temporarily shut down the Casual Tap. And then he called Bar Rescue for help. And it was amazing when you realized the Casual Tap, they didn't accept credit cards. Like, what bar doesn't accept credit cards in today's modern age? I mean, even most businesses, you can go to some parts of a swap meet and they'll accept credit cards. The name of the place was the Casual Tap. And how many beers did they have on tap? The answer would be 0. How do you have a place called the Casual Tap and no beer on tap? When they went to open it up and do a little stress test for them, there were bugs in their bottles of liquor. So obviously they didn't look. You see, the owner was taking a shot with employees right before customers walk in. I mean, you'll know in the bar business, pretty much as a bartender or owner, if you drink, you're probably not going to have a successful business. So Taffer comes in there, helps this guy find a manager, and he also sets up a drink on the menu that a portion of the profits go to Huntington's disease. Really great idea. Redid the whole building. And despite undergoing the whole makeover, they never even reopened for business. So now the episode's already launched. It launched in July, and the bar's still not open. And in the meantime, this guy's on vacation. I mean, it's just absurd. All the money and time that people spent, your employees came back to work, you named somebody a manager, and what'd you do? You never even reopened the bar. Like, what was the point of it? What was the point of the show? What was the point of making people work? What was the point of the whole thing? I don't really know. All he heard is how great this guy was. He was a firefighter. He was dealing with this and that. And here he has a chance to pay some of his debts, a chance to actually create money for something that is important to him. You know, some of the most loved people sometimes are the biggest frauds. Thank you for listening to the Reality Check, here with you every Tuesday at 9 p.m. on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. Have a safe and great Labor Day week.